Welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Rachel. Rachel says, my 15-year-old son is smoking pot whenever he can, and I'm so worried. I don't know what to do. There doesn't seem to be anything I can do. How do I deal with this issue from the paradigm you and others teach? I'm deeply worried for his future and also know that there's only now and that this is what minds do. So I love your clarity in there, Rachel. And, sometimes it's like we know, like you can say what you know is true. There is only now. There is no him off the rails in the future. That is an imagination. You know that this is what minds do, is they get scared, they get unsettled, and then they paint pictures of a future that are completely imaginary just to give some sense of certainty or security or something, even when it's a negative future. That's what minds do. So I hear you and feel you when you're like saying that you know the answer, and you do, like you know that on some level, yet just at the moment, the worried thoughts and the imaginary future and all of that are just kind of weighing more heavily. They just feel a little more real, and they're getting a lot more emotion, a lot more attention than the quiet truth. So I think that's how it goes sometimes, and all you can do is just know that. And you're not going to know that all the time, and that's okay. So you're going to worry. Worry's going to happen. But the more you can know this, know what you know, and just see like what's really happening here. Just watch what's really happening. So there's not a way besides what you said, what I just repeated that you said, like there's not really a way to deal with this or anything from this paradigm, because the paradigm it's just not something that, solves life issues, practical issues. But what it does show us is exactly what you said. It shows us, like, it can help you just kind of have that sense for what's real and what's not. So he's doing a behavior that a lot of kids do, a lot of adults do. Many of those kids and adults grow out of it. Some of them continue. That's just a fact of it right now. And maybe not even right now, but in general, like that's happening. And then you can see how, like, just the most you're able to really kind of see this creation playing out, like, oh, there's a thought saying this shouldn't be happening. There's a thought, or maybe it's just the feeling. There's this huge dread, fear, worry arising. And if you go into that feeling and just kind of feel it, it almost seems to be saying, although the feeling can't talk, but the interpretation will be something like that, right? This shouldn't be happening. This is bad. I need to stop it. I don't know how to stop it. And then painting pictures of the future. And you know this, but we can know it and still really be in it. So we just want to kind of slow down that process as much as possible. And not really even slow down the process, but I want you to kind of go into it and just see it being created as much as possible. Oh, I just smelled pot on him, or saw something or heard something that made me think of this, that put that experience here, and then boom, 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 he's 50 years old and jobless and homeless, and that's not real. So the more you just in your little momentary experience of it can see this playing out, the better. I mean, really, it's so powerful. And that's what helps your suffering, is seeing this. And sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's really subtle. Again, we might not even know what trips it off, and we don't have to, but sometimes you will catch something like I just saw a kid his age, and then a worry thought came in about my kid, and stuff like that sounds minor, and it's not that we have to figure out exactly how this goes, how the worry and the fear and all of that come to be. But when we do get those little glimpses, it's very helpful, because it shows us how this movie's being created. Like that's the backstage look to see how this whole play, how this whole production that feels so real once it's underway, it's showing you how it's being created. So that's, again, for your peace of mind and your suffering. And then, of course, when it comes to him, I don't know, but it kind of stands to reason that you will take really practical steps, have already, to the extent you can. You're right. You don't have full control. None of us have full control over anything. But when you're feeling a little clearer in reality versus imagination, when you're seeing the stories in your mind or imagination more and more, it just stands to reason that your actions toward him, your rules, your conversations, whatever it may be, are going to be coming from a different place. I mean, right? We just know that. It's one thing to be in a full-on panic, and I have this experience with my own kids all the time, to be in an imagination about what might happen, or we're so sure that they're messing this up and they should be doing differently or better. And then the way that comes out is one way. And we know that from being teenagers ourselves, we don't like that. We don't listen to that. Versus when you're a little more in reality of what's happening, the way that things will come out. So you're not going to be perfect. Of course you're going to talk to him when you're in the fear. Of course you are. That's very normal. It doesn't ruin our children. It's okay. We just also know, again, just remember when you were a teenager, like there's different ways that we are going to listen. So the more you can see, I think the better all of this is going to be all around. So I hope that's helpful. I know it's not a clear path, but no one has one that I can think of. So yeah, just keep seeing what's playing out and trust yourself that you are, you're following your own instincts and have been this whole time, and they're good. They're the best that you can see to do. So yeah, thanks for sending your question. Send your questions to askamy@thelittleschoolofbigchange.com, and I will see you next time.